Hi, how are you?
Great.
Good. Hi, Nancy.
Hi. So let's get the scoop. Who's the better golfer?
Out of us?
Out of you two.
Oh, that's not even close. Yeah, Brett is actually an amazing golfer. He was the one. He and Dennis were kind of our golf pro consultants throughout the film. And anytime there was a question about what was the correct thing, I would let Brett and Dennis fight it out. And once they decided how it should go, they would just come tell me. So I'm not a good golfer.
And he's
Yeah.
staying quiet because he's agreeing.
What's
He
that?
agreed.
I said, and you stayed quiet because you agreed.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I'm a pretty good golfer. Dennis is a pretty good golfer. He and I go head to head a lot. But I've had a hole in one at Pebble Beach, so in a PGA tournament. So that's
You had a
my,
hole. You did?
that's my, yeah. See this hat? It says number 7 on it.
Yeah.
It's a Nick Fouquet hat. My wife bought me because I got a hole in one. I was invited to play in the senior PGA tournament at Pebble. The first day I made a hole in one on number 7. So,
Wow. Okay. Well, there you go.
there you go.
Well, thank you for sharing that bit. But let me start with you, Julio. You bring us like a little bit of history of when it comes to golf and from an era like in the 50s where things were different and kind of it's not so long ago. And here you are portraying them when it comes to Latinos. I didn't know that these kind of situations happened where they weren't accepted not even at a country club.
Yeah, I mean, I think people knew that the 50s had a lot of issues like this, but I didn't know specifically in Texas. I didn't know specifically about Latinos. So, what's surprised me the most is I went and screened the movie. We went and showed it in Del Rio where it actually took place last Friday. And I had people coming up to me, guys who were my age, telling me that, yeah, but back in '92, that same thing happened to me after a golf tournament. They wouldn't at a small town, they wouldn't let us eat at the diner and whatnot. And so it was actually pretty eye opening for me to realize I have friends who have told me like, yeah, like Mexican American friends who were golfers, and they said they gave me their stories that like guys would step on our lines and they would call us wetbacks and things like that. And this is we're talking in 90s, mid 90s. So it was definitely enlightening for me because it's not something that I had dealt with, and to know that that's something that until pretty recently people were still struggling with. It was educational for sure.
Wow, I'm amazed. I mean, this is a time where, I mean, we are lucky for us that have not experienced like that.
Hmm.
For you, Brett, this is a story that's from your native Texas.
Yes, yes, it is, and that's one of the reasons. I mean, I got involved because Dennis was doing the movie, and Dennis and I went to college together. I've known him since I was 17, and that's how I became involved with the film. Because I told him I wanted to be in it, and we found a role, and that's how I ended up being there. But I also represent what is wrong with the country right now, and that's hopefully what people will get is that we don't accept people who are different, and the prejudices and the racial animosity that happens, and not just Hispanic and white, but black and Asian, you name it, it exists, and it's obviously in the last 8 years or more has really come prominent in the news. And I hope people see this film and see it for what it is, which is it's not about color, it's about talent, it's about overcoming the challenges that are thrown to us in our lifetime, and that it's a wonderful story and it's so long ago. And was it 52, Julio? Is that correct?
I think the movie they actually ended up winning in '56, I believe is when it
Okay.
actually won. So it was over mid '50s that they were dealing with this stuff.
I mean, that was the year I was born. So I mean, it's like that happened, and yet we're looking at what's going on today. And you want to say, because this is, as Julio has said, this is not a political film. It's a story of in my mind, it's also a story about heart and having the courage to do what you want, what you love to do. And these boys did, and they won the championship. But they were still disparaged by the community, the country club, which I was a part of. So I don't mind playing a role that is not an attractive role or someone that you consider as a nice guy, but I also think it's important that it's played out so that the audience and the community can see what it is.
And this is why you are a great actor.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
And real quick, Julio, I love the story, everything, but one of the characters that stole my heart was Spoyo. Now, I know this is based on the novel. Is his character a fictional character where you are trying to use him as a way to reflect on some of the character's actions?
Yeah, Cheech's character was definitely that was a fictional character, and I thought it was important to show he represents even an earlier generation that dealt with their own issues, and he helps kind of give perspective because I think part of what the movie's about is like, yes, there are challenges, yes, they were treated unfairly, but they're not feeling sorry for themselves. They go out there and they build their own course. They learn the rules. They play the game the way it's supposed to be played. And so with that character, he represents even the evolution that even by the time you got to the 50s, things were already moving in a certain direction, that things had gotten better. So for me, I came away from this whole situation with just gratitude for guys like Cheech in real life, guys who actually did open doors for the last 50 years and to make this whole thing possible for me. Because like you said, you know, you and I didn't deal with the same issues that these people dealt with. And so I think it's important for us to be grateful for the culture that we're inheriting now and make sure that we honor that and be worthy of all the battles that were fought on our behalf. You know?
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations. And I'm excited for people to watch this in theater April 12th, which is right around the corner.
Thank you so much, Nan. We need people to turn up. That's very important. So thank you for doing this.
Of course. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Adios.